tamayo, bela mpili achikata mama, tulevota. Vamos! Tantwala, BM achikata mayo, bela mpili achikata mama, tulevota.
This is Chingola, and today is the last day of the NRPUP campaign timetable on the Copper Belt. And this is the last town where they rock horns with the voters to see if they can change the tide and win over those undecided voters. Now, on the last day of the campaign here in Chingola, we ask fundamental questions. Why is the NRPUP camp being attacked by suspected UPND cadres? And much more importantly, why is the police not arresting anyone? And as a matter of fact, we ask the question, where is the ECZ in all of this? Because according to their rules, wherever there is political violence, they need to sanction those who are perpetuating violence. The police has not arrested anyone as far as we are concerned. Now, we speak to key members of the NRPUP campaign team to get their reactions of what has happened, even as they look forward to Northwestern, Western, and Southern Province, which will be their last stop. All of this on KBN's Zambia Decide, with me, Kennedy Mambwe.
After spending 5 days of campaigning on the Copper Belt in accordance with the ECZ campaign timetable, the NRPUP, led by its presidential candidate, Honorable Brian Munduvile, and his running mate, Makebi Zulu, concluded their campaigns on Monday, 27th July 2026. With only 17 days remaining before the elections, Munduvile and his team held their two successful last campaigns in Chidilabombwe and Chingola today. The campaigns, however, were not without challenges. In Chingola, we caught up with the national campaign manager, Honorable Davis Chisopa, to give his reflections.
First of all, I want to commend the ECZ. That is my first point of call, for them to have come up with the calendar. And I hope that going forward, our remaining 3 provinces will also move smoothly as we have moved where we are coming from. Now, of course, we have had challenges, and challenges starting from Eastern Province, Copper Belt, Muchinga, Northern Province, Luapula, Central Province. Yes, indeed, the Zambian people have made a decision. All of them where we have gone to, we are not giving any regard. But Pastor, if you look at the response that we have been receiving from the people, it's been overwhelming. Overwhelming. Everyone is talking about Pelampi. Even a kid is talking about Pelampi. When you want to know that there's a window of change, first you have to see how are the children, those non-registered children, responding to your campaigns. When you see President Hakainde Hichilema passing through in town, people are not even bothered. They would think that it's just an ordinary person passing through. But when you see Honorable Brian Munduvile, our candidate, passing through the towns, right now as I'm speaking, here in Copper Belt, it has not been easy for us. Today we have the last 2 rallies, which is Chirabombwe and Chingola. From the time we came, it's like the police and the UPND cadres just want to disrupt us. But we have one message. Our message is peace. So we have been frustrated to an extent that if we wanted to defend ourselves or respond in the manner that UPND have been frustrating us, we, by now would have had the bloodshed. But what we have said to our security team is that we don't want violence. We have passed through all these provinces. There haven't been any violence.
So when you say you've been having challenges in all these provinces, what are some of those specific challenges?
The specific challenges is to do with the police and the cadres, UPND cadres. Those are the two elements that have been giving us challenges. If it wasn't for them, because you see, what we agreed with ECZ, I was part of the people that attended ECZ. What we agreed was when we go into a district, we would choose a place, and the district, all the activities supersedes when the president comes. When the president comes, all the activities, political activities with the district calendar flops. We follow now the presidential calendar. But you find that we would choose a place, the police will come and tell you that no, you have to go and look for another place. We abide, we go and look for another place, they would come and says, no, move away from here. When you try to move, you meet with UPND cadres, smashing vehicles. A practical example of what happened 2 days ago. 2 days ago, we had vehicles parked at our presidential command center, a lodge in Kitu. UPND cadres came, smashed vehicles, injured our people. Up to today, Pastor, I can tell you, none of the UPND cadres have been arrested. First of all, they know that they are losing. This election, they are losing. So all they want is, if we retaliate, ECZ will come in and says, no, in Copper Belt there's violence, therefore let's cancel the campaigns. But we know all these plans, we know all the meetings that they have been holding, where they make all these types of plans. No, go and fight them. When they respond, we will respond by cancelling our campaign timetable. But what we have said to our people is that whatever frustrations, in whatever forms it will come, we will not respond. What we want is for us to be able to allow our candidate, Honorable Brian Mundubile, and his running mate, to speak to the people so that the people can get the message.
What are your advance party members telling you that have gone ahead into Northwestern, Western, and Southern? What feedback are you getting as they prepare for you?
Western Province, Northwestern, even in Southern, they have told us, you come, we will receive you, they will even provide security. So we are going into Northwestern Province. Once we are done, tomorrow we will be in Northwestern Province. The other, after 5 days, we'll be going into Western Province. Even in Southern Province, I know that on the calendar, that is the last province where we are going into Southern Province, because Honorable Mundubile wants to unify this country. And for us, when we go there, we will not insult Hakainde like he's insulting Garin Combo, is insulting our candidate. We will not. What we have told our candidate is to look at solutions of what the Zambian people have gone through, for him to give hope, for him to ensure that the Zambian people now have got leadership. Because if we start responding to the insults of Hakainde Hichilema, people won't know the difference. So we want the Zambian people to ensure that they know the difference between Hakainde Hichilema, the current president, and our candidate, Honorable Mundubile, by way of offering solutions, by way of ensuring that, promising the Zambian people, creating hope for the hopeless. If you go around here in Chingola, Pastor Mambo, you will hear what people are saying. Today we have got a bit of electricity, but for the past 4 years, Zambian people have gone through road shedding. Where was power? Because there's no hydropower station that has been expanded. for all of a sudden for the Zambian people not to have road shading. So where was that power going? The power that has come now, where was it going? You ask yourself. Today, as we speak, the president came here in Chingola and he told the young men that we are going to give you the dumps. They have not even gone there. These are programs. Those dumps were being used for political benefits. These are programs that Honorable Brian Mundubile has to say what we want for investment is investors, yes, we want them, but what we want investors to do is to go and have a greenfield mine. And then you bring an investor to go and use the same sand, they just clean it and get sand. Those are things for the Zambians. Those are things for the youths, and that's the message that Honorable Mundubile is preaching to the people here in the Copper Belt. And so far, we've done well. Yes, the police have tried by all means to block us. Honorable Pavuma was even arrested because that day they knew we were going to be in his constituency. He was put in cells. But they thought that they were going to break him, and they were going to break even the people, but the people came in masses. So what I just want to appeal to the police is that they shouldn't follow illegal instructions. Let them be professional.
In Chidilabombwe, it took alert police to fire tear gas canisters to disperse suspected UPND cadres who wanted to disrupt the NRPUP campaigns. Earlier in the week in Kitwe, the NRPUP team were not so lucky as threats became full-blown attacks with about 7 vehicles damaged in the process. Despite the provocations, however, the NRPUP did not retaliate. The party's national chairperson, Honorable Davis Miller, said his team restrained themselves from retaliation.
But I want to say that despite the UPND trying to create confusion on the Copper Belt, but we've managed to pull through. They've been organizing thugs to attack our party officials, and we've ignored them because as a party, we want peaceful campaign, as we have promised, because we want peace. And from now up to the voting day, we want peace. That is the emphasis that we are making. You have seen that UPND has been attacking us, and we have not been retaliating. So people of Zambia must make comparisons. Who are violent and who are not violent. So as at now, it's the UPND which is violent. And the people of Zambia should not even trust them, because they've been saying that we don't allow violence, but they're attacking our people. Us, we've not attacked anyone, and we don't want to create confusion in the country or to start violence. No, that we have said, no, we want peaceful campaigns.
Some residents of Chingola spoken to gave their reactions and perspectives to the message that they've heard and received during the campaigns. Some indicating and reflecting on what they have gone through and endured over the past 5 years of the UPND administration.
Kunmoku da tuare kwa tokula bomba musango wa malaiti ero po ba isalira kuba lumendo aba kai business ifono mbayali bwera panuma kuba lumendo frafine bare isabago baba nonesha kwa magwala ba ya frafine twakwata kwa kuba twabomfyako twaliramo twasonkera kuno tumala iti na kakuro kabeni kala twakageni twakwata so nomba pali no inshito ena yalikosa ero nga chakwafa tinga mwa timu yefero mbalini kumalemba fumwala monaba lumendo abeni basitondira luchero bacherera fita paine fu barechita bacherere fie so nga chakwa bati muchungulo fe nga wapanga mistake yako bati waraenda kuma 2021 hours kumalemba nao kwatana ka plastic bag bala senda balumendo bala poka bakumire pono kumina kumona kwati woni webole kwati fyako bati muledia
so bachile muleto okutila mulando takuli nchito abantu abenge abalumendo nabasanguka bakabwalala
abenge abalumendo nabasanguka bakabwalala nangufe tuntu fe mwashafe na mukanika fidia kusanga fe panga ndata pali so echi lipo fe echi bipire sana kwena fona mona ni muteko bulipo ine kuchina temu afe fintu fya kuchinja fafine nga baba bwese shako fe nchito balaba lumendo bambo kuibombera mu community kwa twashara tuleikala kufe bwino nombefi mwandini fie na tete abalumendo so koma feta ko itefeka pase wala poka nga mwachimu ya fyo nombalini kumalemba muye ko mwala munafe chinkupiti wa balumendo tapani ne fubarechita nangu baingira mufukuru afya abwalwa tapani naba muperwe nani kapuira nchibuko abeni balenwa kuibulira fe balanu mwamona kwati filefya ko batifya pa makafe fyabo kaita pale fubarechita
ine mombe nchita brick rain lelo life yopo ifikire pali ino nchita taili bwino because nchito na shichepa muno mchingora tamuli nchito ili yonse omuntu wenga kwato kuliramu nga twayingira mukomboni umu bale twe bati 3 times a day ukulya tuleli afyo mukumo n'okuli efyumbufye efya mchitako cover bonse ba stone dealer twale kwa tempia isharefu makupiti ishale isa mukomboni osho twale bonfya abantu kuma business even utuma shops twali salwa so tapali ifire chitikana ngufimo. That's why tule complainer ababa bakutusakamana nga bali shirireko ba stone dealer uko akubombera lero tapali so if twakwata limbi kwamba kula tuibira because kaita bakwete efyo barechita barenu afye kupepa bafwaka efyo fire chitika mu kuno kuchingola awe apa tufire twaroresha pantanshi kumurando wako bati ichibemba chiranda tichikalirwa pansaka musumba wabwali so nga tapali efyo turechita ifwe ni stretchula n'abana n'abakashi tufuiri okusara bwino ukumona okuti ati kutwaisa baba kuti baisa twafwa mubwikashi bwezo pantu umuntu wonse ali ngaleria alekwanisha nokusunga abana nokuya kusukuru baliya nabalya inefyo ni ngaranda but life mchingora yali kosa tapali fire chitikana ngufimo.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Mr. Chisanga. We can only wish you all the best as you go to vote on August 13.
Kwa ina totera abantu fe bafire bakwato kulorekesha no kusara bwino kumona abutunguru shinshi bwingesa tufunya muri problem.
A Chingola-based youth, Christopher Mwaba, who is a former stone dealer, had this to say.
I used to be a stone dealer before it was taken away from us. Yes. They took the illegal mining where we used to mine from. Yes, that's what happened. That's what they did. You can see some of us, the youths here in Chingola, few have gone through education and few have got papers of whereby they can start looking for other jobs to do. So it has been very hard for us youths. We are doing nothing. They are just sitting around begging. You find to say when you go into Chiwempala, most of the youths, they are just in the community living about. Some of them who've got no proper thoughts, they are even stealing. Why? It's because they are not earning. That is the only place that they were earning money of their own, not asking from people, now stealing. So it has been a very bad experience for us youths here in Chingola. Sometimes we are even attacked to us who've like tried to start something else to do in life. My message to my fellow youths is to look at how we have lived these past 4 years. What experience have we had? That is what you should look at. It is more like a parent left you when you are young and he comes back when you are grown. Will there be a difference of him being a father in your life at that present time or not? So to me, it is more like that. So as I am saying about, as you have said, as in for me, my decision, I think me changing the leadership for me, maybe it may be it can bring a lot of help to me, because all we need, it's not all about promising words. We want work on the ground.
And the party's provincial information and published secretary, Mr. Kabwe, gave his own account and perspective to the campaigns.
I want to say we are extremely very happy to see the campaign that has happened on the Copper Belt since the president came on the Copper Belt, despite the police that have been trying to block and stop the president from meeting the Zambian people based on the Copper Belt that have been suffering since the UPND came on the Copper Belts. But so far, I can say thank you to the people on the Copper Belt that have come out in large numbers. I think these are the people that have even helped our president to make headways when the police tried most of the time to block him, because the police have come to give solidarity. That has also helped the police not to stop the president despite those challenges. I think so far so good. This is very good, and it's a clear indication that the Zambian people that are based on the Copper Belt, they are here to make sure that change comes. They believe that Mr. President Brian Mundubile and the NRPU cannot bring change without them. So we are happy to see the support that we have received so far on the Copper Belt. One of the major issues that the people have been complaining about over the past 5 years is the high cost of living. The UPND, when they came into power, or before they came into power, they promised the Zambian people, they promised the people of Chingola that they are going to reduce the cost of living. By then, we are buying Miu Miu at 120, 100 kwacha. So the UPND promised that they are going to provide Miu Miu at 150. That surprisingly, the Miu Miu today on the Copper Belt, Chingola specifically, it is costing between 290 and 300 kwacha. And the other things that the UPND promised that they are going to reduce the fuel to 12 kwacha. And surprisingly, the president has made a number of visits in Chingola. And it doesn't talk about the reduction of the fuel. So that has really brought a lot of suffering. The other challenge that the people on the Copper Belt, especially in Chingola, where Chingola is economically, you should talk about KCM. When the president, before 2021, he promised that he will not bring back Vandata. But surprisingly and disappointing that the President Haka in the HMA had even the guts to come on the Copper Belt and say, I'm bringing back Vandata. Since Vandata came into KCM, you'll find that there's no much production, that KCM has not increased production. KCM has not created a business and a job opportunity. They have never created jobs. The UPND told the people of Chingola when it comes to casual workers that they are going to ensure that casual workers, they get good salaries. Their salaries were going to be increased. They were going to be employed directly into KCM. Since they gave KCM to Vandata, these people have still remained casual workers, and it doesn't talk about them. The other issue that we have experienced in Chingola is about the UPND chasing small-scale miners. Most are the young people who cannot have jobs. These people are not trained. So when the previous government left, they ensured that they left, they gave them the dams. But when the UPND came into power, they decided to grab the dams from them and gave to some people. So that has brought a lot of suffering. These people were taking their children to school, were feeding their children, but suddenly the UPN decided to take it back. And when the president came last time, he decided to give them OB19 and OB22. And OB19 and OB22, I think from the information that we have, there is no real stuff that they can benefit from there. That's why most of the Jarabos and the young people, they have rejected those dams. But we are happy as the President Brian Mundubile has come on the Copper Belt. He'll be in Chilawombwe, he'll be in Chingola. We are appealing. Last time when he launched the campaign in Kitwe, I think he made a very good promise to the young people. I'm sure today when he comes to Chiringola at Kaunda Square, I think that promise will be said again, and I'm sure a number of them, they are coming and they are expecting that the President will affirm his promise.
And yes, this is the last day on the Copper Belt, and we have had quite a good share and portion of the issues that are on the Copper Belt. And the President Mundubile has been very categorical in ensuring that he encourages the Zambian people, first and foremost, to realize that this is their country, and it being their country, they need to exercise their right to vote. It is also true that we have been to northern Luapula, Muchinga, and indeed we have been to Eastern Province, Central Province. All these areas, people have received Brian Mundubile with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, and a lot of hope. But I want to state here now that the democratic space in Zambia has been marred with a lot of restrictions, and that has actually hampered our movement in a number of areas. You do recall when we were in Lusaka, the police could not give us an opportunity to move freely when we were doing road shows in Lusaka. But then this was also compounded by the blocking of President Mundubile's movement on the Copper Belt here. And this is not auguring well, especially in a democratic space such as Zambia. We can only appeal and pray that the Zambia police should remain professional, but also realize that they should not be acting on illegal instructions. It is very true and very clear that some civil servants too are also being given illegal instructions, which instructions do not match with their professionalism. And the President Mundubile has been very clear that please stay and remain in your lane, because we need the civil service.
For Chingola, I can confirm that we are certain that there is total victory for our 3 MPs. Boris Chansau is standing from Chingola West, Michelle Pili who is standing Chingola Central, and Madame Rosemary Chipoya who is standing in Changa, and our Mayor Nereus Mumba. These are going to get it. Definitely we are winning these 3 seats and the mayoral, and we are pretty sure the 29 councillorship, we are winning them. Generally on the Copper Belt, I think we are certain President Brian Mundubile will carry the day, and we are going to ensure that maximum vote are given. That's why I'm appealing to the resident of on the Copper Belt that please, on the 13th of August, ensure that you give maximum support. Do not buy into the lies of the UPND again. They lied to you and they have failed to improve your lives. This is the time to liberate yourself. This is the time to give victory to Mr. Brian Mundubile, and we are very happy that he's on the Copper Belt. That's why we appeal you that he continue mobilizing so that we can protect the vote. The other thing I can appeal to the resident of Chingola is that ensure that once you vote, don't leave the polling station. Protect the vote. We don't want any rigging. Please ensure that you will remain at the polling station so that we can protect the votes.
As Brian Mundubile and his running mate, including their campaign teams, head out of the Copper Belt to the Northwestern Province, his message remains consistent.
Transparently, advert to be in the newspapers for nurses, teachers, police officers, staff, army, bakutumina Zambia uliwonse akwata tanza pingile nchito.